All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market show. Hope everyone is having a good morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Let's get this show on the roll. So, as you know, Norm will not be joining us today. He has been dealing with some situation with a storm he had over the weekend. So, all positive thoughts to him. So, I will be missing my the better half of this show. Has all the information on the news and all that great stuff. He's so good at that. So, we will definitely wish him and his family well. Not sure if the power is back on. I don't think he has any power. And the deadline they gave him, but the timeline was from 10 p.m. Last night all the way until Thursday. I'm like, wow. So hopefully that happens sooner than later. All right, guys. So let's get right into it. I don't have a watch list for yesterday since yesterday I did not trade. So I don't know what was really the watch list for yesterday, but I know BYND was hot. I know this one opened up, I think, what, $40 higher yesterday morning. So this has been unbelievable to see this stock just soar, hitting as high as 175 today. Yesterday hit as high as 186. It looks like 187 around that area, all-time high. So again, it's just been unbelievable what this stock has been doing. So just 1 second here. Let me get my microphone set up. Okay, here we go. All right, guys. So let's get into our stock list, our gappers list. We'll get into that, and then we'll go to our NASDAQ active, NASDAQ gainers. A little bit earlier than usual, but I just don't really have a lot on here to go through in regards to top plays and highlights. But some people are throwing out some tickers here. So let's look at CRM. So CRM yesterday. CRM I find very hard to trade. I have traded it in the past. It just seems very difficult for me personally to trade this stock. Looking at the 1 minute, it looks like yesterday it traded well. I can't speak on the actual price actions because sometimes you see a stock and after the fact, oh, this traded very clean, very nice. But when you're there live watching the actual action, it could be very choppy and very difficult to trade. I mean, here it looks like it had a nice little pop, nice little pullback to the VWAP. Cannot stay below and it comes right back up, right? But again, just not sure how clean that price action was or how clean this opening range breakup was. Right here after this pullback. Looks clean on the 5, but again, cannot tell on the actual price action. So next we had PRVB. All right, so what this one got going on here? Whoa, okay. This is crazy here. Oh yeah. I saw this one. I saw this one yesterday. This was insane. This is one that went from like $4 all the way up to 22. Yes, this one I saw yesterday. I had a guy text me some information on this. I was like, no way, man. So I put some levels on here, but you can see this thing is crazy. But it's a low flow stock, guys, so be very careful with this one. Looks like it's in play today. Let's remove these here. Yeah, it looks like it's in play today. Again, has some good volume, 529,000 shares traded. This was yesterday. Yeah, so again, just another good one here as well. What else we have? Open range breakup. Norm, did you take that as open range breakup? I mean, that seems like it would have been, let's go back, an amazing open range breakup. Yeah, I mean, look at the volume here. That's just amazing. Again, if you're trading low flows, this stock was definitely one to trade yesterday. All right, guys. So again, not much for yesterday. So we're going to get into our gappers list for today. Abby, if you could help us out on YouTube, we have our friends back. So let's just ban them real quick. They're definitely annoying. Got nothing better to do. So let's get rid of those guys. Just ban them and hide them from the channel. All right, cool. So let's get into it, guys. Let's see what we have here. So first up on the list, JAGX. So these guys here are up 44.8, 173,000 shares traded so far. Let's get into the action for today. Let's get our charts here lined up. All right, a little shaky here on the action. Pretty choppy. Looks like they had a pop up here, and now they're kind of going sideways a bit. I just want to check the float on this one. 26 million shares flow, so not as low. But I'm going to check if there's any news on here on Benzinga. So JAGX. I don't have anything on Benzinga, so not sure what's the news causing this one to pop up today. 44.2 on the daily. Again, it just looks like it hit $7 here now, running at $10. So again, pretty nice little pop here. Not sure what's costing this action. It's a 26 million shares flow, so not as slow. So we can take a look at it a little later and see what it develops. Next we have PRVB, which we know is a low flow stock. This one is 24.6. Again, low flow as well, but this one is more aggressive than JAGX. So actually we could put both of them down here. They're both lower price, because you really got to watch your number of shares anyway, both within that 25, 26 million shares flow. So PBRB also very active today, up 9.4, 534,000 shares. I think yesterday, yes, I remember yesterday this was like up like 224% by the time I saw it. Not sure if it was at this peak that it was at that high, but it was around that area. So thank you, Centil. So no news on JAGX. So it's just popping up for for no reason here. Looks like, but it's got to be something causing this. Maybe it's just momentum, or people are just buying into some kind of triangle. All right. So next we have BPH. So let's look. I'm sorry, BHP. Let's look at BHP. BHP up 3%, 174,000 shares traded. But now that the chart's coming up, this does not look clean at all. This must be a foreign stock. Actually, yes, this is a foreign stock, and you can see here the price action not really clean, very flat. A nice little block trade right in here, about 150,000 shares traded. You can see that one right in here. So again, not tradable. So we'll skip that one. Next we have BABA hitting our list today. BABA is up 2.2, 135,000 shares traded so far. Has a clean pre-market action. Usually BABA doesn't have the cleanest pre-market action, but this is all right for BABA. Not bad at all. So 135,000 shares traded so far. Let's look at the daily. Daily also looks good. Let's remove these levels here. Yeah, so daily also looks great. Looks like we're breaking out of some resistance we have here. Also some levels. Look at all these moving averages up towards the bottom. We have a nice clean level here and a nice gap we can close today. So BABA looks interesting. We will definitely keep an eye on that one. That's a little higher price stock for me. So if I find something that's better within my range, I will change it from this one. All right, so next we have Tesla is on here. Tesla also another higher price stock. Tesla's been pretty active. Looks like it's got a real nice bounce going the last couple of days. So let's check in here. Yeah, it looks like it hit 180. Now it's kind of doing a little bounce here, trying to get back up to this moving average, I'm assuming. As you can see here, some moving averages curling below it. So finding some kind of support finally. So at 217, 124,000 shares traded. But the pre-market action is not looking great at the moment. I know there was one day last week where they had a beautiful pre-market action. I want to say it was Friday or Thursday. I don't recall, but they had a beautiful pre-market action. Today they don't seem to be having that, so we'll keep it on here, but most likely we'll end up dropping this one. BYND, of course, this is the stock that everyone is talking about. I mean, this is unbelievable. I think on Monday it was up like another $40 or so. I mean, this hit 187, so this is definitely in play, guys. Unfortunately, we don't have shares for short. At least I don't have with my broker, but they're pretty active today. Have a good pre-market action, some really good volume. Not that you want to short this stock anyway. You want to be very careful. Usually something this strong, you want to be careful not to get squeezed. We're still showing on BYND. We're still showing a weird float here. I don't know how accurate this 4 million is really. I mean, this stock is again, I think this is eventually going to end up changing. I'm not sure what other sources are showing, but we have 4 million shares flow here, which is a very low flow stock. Right now the price action, it wasn't looking as low flow when it was doing all of this here. But lately it's been very, very active, and I mean the swings are crazy. We're swinging between $10-20 on some of these candles, so very careful on trading this one. Next we have one that I have not seen before, at least I don't think so. GNFT. GNFT is down 13%. What's the name of this company? No, I never seen these guys before. Gen whatever that is. Daily chart looks very choppy, very ugly, guys. It's a very ugly daily chart. You can see here, look at the candles, how they're setting up. They're not doing no type of flow or formation. A lot of gaps in here. Also, the last couple of days have been very, very choppy. It's nice that it lost this here, but really not creating a nice flow here. So in the actual pre-market action, not much going on either. 138,000 shares traded, but this pre-market action looks a little bit weak. Again, just not sure what's going on with this one. Any news on this one, guys? If you find something, I'm gonna check Benzinga, see if there's anything on there. Nope, just one of the movers, at least on Benzinga for today. So not a favorite. So yeah, we'll just get rid of this one. All right. Don't like the way the daily chart looks or the price action on that one. And next we have CBAY. CBAY, I think we looked at before. So CBAY today down 44%, 1 million shares traded. That is nice. What is the float on this one? We're looking at 44.6, so that's good too. Daily chart looks like it's just been in a range. Oh, I remember this one. Yeah, we have looked at this one before. Yeah, it's been in a range the last couple of days, last couple of months, just holding this support here at 12. looks like we have lost this area here of support. So now we have a nice little drop here all the way down to around $6. Let's look at the pre-market action a little closely. So pre-market action looks okay. We have this nice drop here, starting to hopefully do some kind of movement here. Looks like it's just consolidating sideways and not getting a lot going. So we'll give it a little time, see if it develops something out of here. We do have shares for sure, so that's great. So again, I like this drop. I don't like the pre-market action as much, but this drop here is nice. We have a nice little range here. We do have some levels we can look at the daily chart as well. All right, looks like did we get anything else that popped up here? I do not think so. So that's it on the gappers list, guys. So a little bit light, and even the ones that we do have not looking as great. Let's look at Nasdaq Active, SINT. This is a penny stock, so we'll bypass this one. Pretty active, 5.9 million shares traded so far, 78,000 shares traded. But again, we don't focus on a penny stock, so we're just gonna skip this one. Next, we have LGCY, also a penny stock. Again, nothing to watch here. CBay we have. This one is again very active, a lot of volume, but we just need a better pre-market action. It has this nice little drop here, nice volume here, but look at the part of it on the 293,000. It's just here all flat, right? Although you have 1.0 million on here, 1 million shares traded on here, not really creating a great pre-market action yet. So let's hope it gets better. Let's look at AMD. AMD is active, 896,000 shares traded. So I'm gonna add AMD on here to fill some of these gaps we had in lack of stocks that are moving. AMD in the last couple of days, not beautiful breakout, right? It was choppy all in this area here. While we talked about this, how although it has this chop, it has some ranges throughout the day, right? Selling off, selling back up, you know, selling down here, selling back up. So it had a nice little range here that was tradable because the intraday was so clean, right? Usually this stocks are like this are very nasty. They had this beautiful pop here that just kind of created this possible breakout, and now it's just, you know, been really strong over the last couple of days. So looking forward to see what it does today. Right now it has good volume, 896,000 shares traded. Not the cleanest pre-market action. A lot of that volume sitting on this one candle here. But again, we know AMD is going to get the volume, but is it going to run in one direction or the other, right? That's what we're looking for. A good clean run up or run down. We can jump in, join the buyers or sellers and take advantage. Nasdaq ETF, we'll skip that. SFLY, what is this, a buyout? Not enough volume for a buy, only 672,000 shares traded. Had a very big range yesterday, right? Sold up, sold down, and just kind of closed basically in the middle of the ranges here somewhat. So very weird day trading yesterday. Pre-market action today doesn't look clean at all neither, although it does have some volume. This pre-market action is a little funky, so not sure what to think of it. We'll keep an eye on this one. Hopefully if anybody sees something good coming out of here, give me a heads up. And we'll come back to it. Right now it doesn't look great at all. BYND we have. So someone mentioned BYND got downgraded. I'm sure they got downgraded. They're too high. I don't think they were expecting this move to happen all the way up to 184, right? What they opened up at 80? Not even. They opened up at 47. So yeah, so what's the downgrade to 120? So if you're still in this area, you're still great, right? So again, just a lot of hype on this one here. Very active today. We'll have this on watch as well. ACHV, this one we traded in the past before. What's the float on this one? ACHV, yeah, 6.3. So doesn't look clean at all today. Look at this pre-market action, guys. This is very nasty, very choppy all over the place. Got some volume, 593,000 shares traded, but again, just not looking clean. Just someone mentioned to R, if he can hear me, to restart his browser. That should get him going. All right, so again, just not sure what to think about this one. Looks very nasty right now. I'm just gonna bypass it. PRVB we have already, selling down a bit now. We do have shares for sure, which is nice. But again, this is a low flow stock, so be very careful. Usually you don't have shares for these stocks that are so risky like this. Let me see, how many do we have actually? We have a lot. There's a lot on here. So, but again, just be very careful. NURO, penny stock, not really doing much here. JAGX we have. CTRV, this one was hot a couple of days ago. I remember this one, yeah. Some of you guys traded this one. Also a low flow stock, I believe. Let me just make sure. I don't want to make sure I'm crossing tickers with something else. Yeah, lower flow stock at 17. I remember we did the levels on this one, and again, right now, what is it doing? Doesn't really have volume. Doesn't really have volume. Only 18,000 shares traded. MOTS has some volume here. Horrible pre-market action though. Just not looking great. Daily chart also nasty. So it looks like it popped up here, but just again, not much going on in regards to a good clean pre-market action that we can trade. VKTX, this is one we traded in the past plenty of times. Today doesn't really have anything going. Not a crazy volume. 144,000 shares. It is up 8.9. But the pre-market action is not looking great, so we'll wait for this one to hit our scanners. But we have traded this one in the past, so we'll see. It can definitely run. Let's put it down here, VKTX, and we'll take a look at that one. What do we have next? OCUL, no volume. PRVB we have already. SNNA, nothing going on, no volume there. FBIO, also nothing happening. And last one here is ZYNE. ZYE looks like we traded in the past. I don't remember trading this in the past, but we got some levels in here, and at least looked at it in our gappers list. Today daily looks a little bit interesting because you do have somewhat of a support coming around in this line here, right? This moving average. So you got somewhat of a support and a possible breakout happening, at least on the daily. But if we look at the pre-market action, it's just not looking great. But this is one. If you like these type of breakout trades, this is one that you can, you clearly have a triangle building up here with some moving average pushing it up, and it looks like it might be good for a breakout. Then you got some very clean levels you can play off. So if that's your style of trading, this is one that could be interesting for today if others are looking at that same possible breakout to get above this line over here and leave these moving averages. All right, guys. So let's see what you guys have today. Let's see what's on your end. What do you guys like this morning? Let's look at MU. MU jumped. Yep, MU is in our scanners here. I see that. Good. So MU is popping up. I like MU's daily chart too as well. Again, also getting these moving averages under it, finding some kind of support here with several levels of the highs and lows. Again, so this one is also very interesting. So yeah, I like MU. And again, MU, this is typical MU. No good pre-market action. That's typical of MU to do that. So we'll keep MU on here since our gappers list is a little bit light for a Tuesday. Looks like I might have missed a good day yesterday, but let's see what we can get out of this today. Apple, see what Apple is up to. Apple also has a beautiful daily chart. Let's get rid of some of these levels. Again, beautiful bounce here over the last couple of days, and you can see here you got this moving average breaking out. Doesn't have great pre-market action at the moment, but again on the daily looks very nice. You got this 200 moving average that is kind of slightly above it right now on the daily, so it just looks like setting up nicely for a possible pop. Pre-market action is okay, not great, but the daily chart is very nice though. So if you want to watch Apple, something you could put in there to wait to hit the scanners or so, but it looks like a very good possibility of a breakout. Or this high of yesterday, it went above the 200 yesterday, so it created a new high above that. Let's see today if this is going to be strong resistance or is it going to crack above that and goes for a nice run all the way up to, you got some levels here, 198, possibly also all the way up to 201. So possibility on Apple. CORN needs volume. Let's see what we have on CORN. So here, wow, daily chart is interesting. Let's get rid of these levels. All right, so a big day yesterday for Cron here. So nice big day here yesterday on it. See how it traded since we're here already. We got a few minutes. Yeah, it traded very nice yesterday. So nice, beautiful pop here. Comes back, finds some support around the 20 moving average, and it goes above VWAP and just takes off nicely. So if you're looking for that breakout there, it's a beautiful false breakout of the VWAP, right? It tries to break down, cannot hold there, comes right back up, and it just takes off. So that's real nice on Cron. So today kind of opening a little bit flat, not much volume like you mentioned, so I see that. But the daily chart is interesting. We got to see if we're going to get any type of continuation today. We do have some levels in here we can get to, but the daily chart looks really good. I like the way this daily chart looks very strong, but it just needs more volume, as you mentioned. Next we have Facebook has been upgraded. All right, let's check. All right, a little choppy right now on the pre-market action, which is normal for Facebook. That's nothing crazy. So yeah, beautiful drop here. Also, kind of like Apple, a lot of these stocks are having this nice little bounce now, right? Looks like everybody found their bottom. And look at Facebook hitting right on the 200 moving average, then bouncing off of that, right? Of course, the SPY probably helped with this as well, because we did get a little bounce on it also, which is just crazy how it comes right to that and then takes off. So same thing here. You have some moving averages getting below this here and trying to break through. So today, similar to Apple, you have the high of yesterday, right on here. So we're going to see if it can break through that resistance and take off. All right. But I'm not going to put it on my watch list, guys, on Facebook. I just don't like the pre-market action right now, but it could be a good possible breakout later on today. NYB, what we have here. So NYB, that's not a ticker. Merengue, give me another one. Zoom has been very active as well. See what Zoom is up to over the last couple of days. Not doing too much today, but as you know, the daily chart had a nice little pop here on Friday and yesterday as well. Just trading very nice, but right now pre-market action not looking too great, and also just seems very choppy at the moment. Needs a little more volume, but I see what you're looking at. The daily chart is interesting. We can get a continuation here, or bounce back a bit just to consolidate, or even just consolidate right in here. So that's a good one. Roku, let's look at Roku. Roku's been one that again, I think Roku's going to do the same thing it did here. Me and Norm been talking about this last week as well. I think this stock is very strong over the last couple of days. Again, every time it breaks a new range here, it did more than what I thought it was going to. But every time it breaks a new range, it does this like consolidation, right? Broke out here, consolidated, and then popped up again. Broke out here, it's consolidating now, and who knows if it's going to hit that high of all-time high one more time. So right now, not doing much, but this is one you definitely want to watch. If you have space in your watch list, throw this on there, because this one, again, it's just interesting the way it's trading. But the way I see on Roku is you got to wait for it to settle in, because sometimes it just sells off, and then once it gets into a groove, if it's not going to chop around, if it's not going to consolidate, you can clearly figure out, or not figure out, you can clearly see when that breakout is going to happen. Wait for it to, for everything to trade into a point. You get a triangle, and then you get the possible breakout once all the volume comes in. So look out for that. But again, be aware that it could just chop around all day, so you don't want to be involved in that chop. One of my rules is if I get stopped out twice or 3 times, I step away from that stock and just don't trade it anymore. It's like a 30-minute timeout. Wait for it to settle in and see what happens. Just protects you from trying to take a stab over and over on something that's not really there. So it is MBY, the one you're mentioning. Okay, so MBY, let's look at that. All right, so MBY, wow, 3.8 million shares traded. Sorry, 3.0. That is quite a bit. What we have going on here. So it has a decent pre-market action with some insane volume. What's the float on this one? MBY. Great question. I will answer that in a second. That's a good question. What is considered a good clean pre-market action? So we'll definitely answer that in a second. So here this pre-market action looks good because it has a flow. You got a nice flow to it, right? That's what you want to see. When you don't, that's a good clean pre-market action. Let me give you one that always has a bad pre-market action. Bank of America. This is a horrible pre-market action. You see how you have no volume and it's all flat? This is not a clean pre-market action. You want to find something that has a nice smooth flow, creating a range, whether it's sideways, up or down, doesn't matter. But you want to create some type of range. It just shows that the volume is creating good price action, right? In some cases, look at this one here, 148,000 shares traded, 100 sitting on this one candle, right? Instead, I would like to see that 100 split into 15, 15, 15 and create this nice little flow, right? That's more important than actual volume. Now, can this open up and take off nicely and create a great move? Absolutely, but you just can't watch everything, right? So for example, AMD, this is not a clean pre-market action. This is horrible pre-market action. You see how it gaps up, comes back down. You have a lot of volume here. But we know AMD at the open, the way it trades, a little bit difficult. MU always has a horrible pre-market action. Look at this one, guys. Just not clean at all. Let's look for a clean pre-market action. I think Tesla's okay. It has some down candles here that don't look too clean, but it's starting to actually put in a nice flow. So it's starting to get going here. If the volume can from here to here looks great, right? If the volume can continue going like this, you're gonna get a nice pre-market action out of here. So let's hope it continues to do that. CBY also not the cleanest pre-market action, just kind of trading pretty flat between that 630. Trying to see if we have a good one today. Zoom also not great. Baba. Okay, so this one's clean. You see how this one has, starting from here especially all the way up, you see it has some kind of flow to it, right? It has a range. That's a good clean pre-market action. From here to here, this is not a good clean pre-market action. So hopefully that clears it up. Definitely check out class 2. It is on YouTube. Check that out. We go over, I think Andrew recorded that class. He has it up. He goes over exactly what a good clean pre-market action is. All right. What else we have, guys? What else you guys have on your end? Were we looking at MB? Did we finalize MBY? I think we started looking at it, but didn't finalize it. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, this one we're looking at. So 16 million shares float. So a little bit on the lower side. We're going to throw it down to here next to our risky pie, which is way too many. I'm going to pick the best 2 to watch from here. I'll be honest, I'm probably not going to trade them, but it is fun to watch some of these low flow stocks in action and just get a feel for the price action. If I do like something and I'm like convinced, okay, this is a great type A plus setup, you know, I'll take 100 units, 50 units, depending on the ATR, but I am not going to hit my hockey and take a full size of, you know, 1,000 plus units on a stock that can drop 50 cents in a matter of seconds or get halted, right? I want to be able to take a number of shares that if it drops $1 or so, I'm only going to lose like 50 bucks. All right. And that's how I manage my risk on these type of stocks. And then you get a feel for the action and, you know, sometimes it works out. But you want to manage your risk correctly on these. So MBY here has a good clean pre-market action, has some really good volume down here. Look at this volume, 400 something, creating a nice flow, right? So now let's see if we can consolidate here. You got some candles with some good bodies on them, right? So you got a nice clean body, opposed to having candles where here they're flat. You know, this is not great. So looking good at the moment. Let's look at the daily chart. Looks again, had a great day yesterday. Maybe we might be getting into some kind of continuation today. Let's go back and see if this is a former runner. Don't have a lot of information on this one. Oh, actually we do. Hold on. No, take that back. So it is one that has, you know, ran up before in the past. You see some volume here and it does run up. So it is a former runner, and today seems really active on this pre-market action. So again, we'll throw it down here. Also lower flow, 16 million shares. So you want to be very careful with that one. All right, let's do a few more, and then we'll get into announcements, and then we'll go into finding some levels. HRB here, yes, agree. Needs a little more volume, although it's starting to pick up now. It's at 83. It might be hitting our scanners if it can get down or up 2%. Daily chart is very choppy though over the last couple of a month or two. Actually here it's been nice, kind of nice little groove going, but then it's just kind of been getting stuck into this chop. So not the cleanest. What else we have? And then we'll do this one, ZEN, no volume on ZEN, and last one is CMG, also no volume on this one, guys. All right, let's get into what we have. Let's narrow this list, make it a little smaller. If there's anything else pops up that looks great, definitely shoot it out to me. One more, we have X coming up in our gappers list. X is very difficult to trade. This is a stock that can be very choppy. I remember this stock was trading at like 50 bucks when we were trading it back in, like around 40, 30 bucks. Thought it was higher though last year. Maybe I'm mistaken. No, yeah, around 40, 50 bucks. Okay, now it's at 14. Insane. Right now, pretty choppy though. It's just coming up in our gappers list, but not really doing much. Very choppy, not much volume. Although it's up 3.5 today. All right, so AJ, so that's good to know. So NBY halted like 15 times yesterday. Yeah, be careful with that one if that's the case. I mean, the volume already is 3.2 million shares. I mean, that's just insane for a float that's 16.2. So just crazy. All right, so let's start with the top. Let's look at BABA. BABA has a great daily chart. Looks like it wants to break out. I'm not going to keep this one. It's a little bit out of my price range. I like the stocks between 20 to 80-ish, maybe 100. But this one here on the daily looks like it wants to break out. So we'll get some levels for it, but I'm not going to keep it. Also, I think the pre-market action needs to be a little better. You have a gap that you might want to close at 168.67, and you also have a possible area here where it can break out from, or at least reach. I'm trying to get it as close as I can, 165.58. So below that, you're sitting right on the moving average right here, so it's slightly above it, so that's good. Under that, you have the high from yesterday, moving average down here as well. We can actually mark down, you can mark down this moving average, although it's very close to your previous day close, but I'm going to mark it down just in case area of support. And then you have the previous day close and several levels towards the bottom. So But again, this daily chart seems to be rounding out here and just heading higher. So let's see if today can keep the momentum. Look out for that in your scanners, or if you have a space, throw that on there. Tesla's starting to get some real nice volume here. As you can see, it had such a great pre-market action, but now from here to here, starting to look really nice, opening up these candles, getting some bodies under them. So that's what you want to see when you see a good, clean pre-market action. Also getting some moving averages under it. We do have a possible level. I'm going to mark this one up here. This 222.39. It's got to break through that. We'll give it a good opportunity to head higher. And then over here we have another one on top of this consolidation period on 234. You also have a moving average on the way in down there as well. That's a big run. I don't think it'll get there, but again, it's done in big rallies before. Look what it did a couple of days ago. A nice big rally here, hit this moving average, paused a little bit, and then continue the following day. So it's on a nice uptrend on the daily chart. Pre-market action starting to look a little better as well. So this could be good with some nice volume to 190 now. So let's look at BYND. Give me 1 second, guys. Hold on. I'll be right back. All right, I am back. All right, so BYND, I want to definitely watch today. Again, I know they were downgraded. I don't have shares for sure, but it's going to be exciting to watch this one today. I think it's going to be very active. I'm just going to remove some of the levels we had before. Right now, the levels are a little bit all over the place because you really don't have much to go by in this area, right? So here we have a high of the pre-market over here. Let's mark this one down, which is above the previous day close, 174.99, basically 175. Previous day close towards the bottom. Right now you're sitting on the high from 2 days ago, low from yesterday. The price action is right on, within this area, so that's good. And then towards the bottom, you really don't have much besides, you can mark down the opening and closing of this day. Not usually a level that we look for, but in an area where you don't have plenty, this could be somewhat of support and resistance. You know, people might be watching for something like this, 138.39 and 129.62. All right, what else we have here? Okay, perfect. And they got a moving average coming in between the 129.62 and the 120. So again, not one of my favorite stock. I think this trade's a little weird, so I'd rather not trade it, but I'm gonna watch it today. If I get something better when Andrew O'Brien comes on, I'll drop this one. CBAY still just chopping around, just not really giving much, nothing attractive to look at here. I do like this beautiful drop here, down 44%. We'll get some levels for it, but definitely not one of my favorites today. Low of the pre-market 4.6, high of the pre-market right where the low was at 999, 998, right where the low was from 2 days ago. Going into this area, the price action looks to be right in, almost very close to this support here around 634, so we'll mark that down. Let's go back a little more, see what else we can find on this one. All right, so we have a range that's around our price range where the price action is now. So I'm going to zoom in here. Let's see what we could find. Very clean one down here, guys. 563. So mark that down. Then above here we have a nice little spike here at 830. Look at that 830 also coming up down here, and then also being resistance here, and finally breaking out of it, goes for a nice run towards 9. So we got some good levels in here. Again, just not sure about this pre-market action, guys. Seems very choppy. So again, just be careful with this one at the open. It could just chop around. We do have shares for sure, 1.2 million shares traded. Let's remind ourselves what the flow is on this one. So 44 million shares float, so it is tradable, but let's see. It's just this pre-market action. So another example of one that's not clean. It's got some great volume. It's capping down 44%, so that's good. It's got a decent daily chart, not great. But this here is not a clean pre-market action. It's just chopping around between 20 cents, 650 and 620 or so. Here might look 620 right here. Here might be breaking out, but again, just not a clean pre-market action. When we say that, that's kind of what we're looking for. Next we have AMD. So AMD is starting to put in a range here. That's good. Starting to leave these moving averages, starting to leave VWAP. So that's great. Has good volume. 1 million shares traded so far. It is up 1.3, so not up much compared to what we're looking for stuff over 2%. But this daily chart looks amazing. Been breaking out nicely. Now, as far as levels, you really only have to put the high of the pre-market and the low of the pre-market. So 33.95 and 33.43 as the low. Then you are stuck within a nice range now. High from yesterday, high from low from yesterday, pre-market, previous day close, and then you have several levels towards the bottom. So I don't think you don't need to add any more, because this just be too too crazy, too congested. We don't need that. We don't need that in here. So let's see what AMD does. Again, just now starting to put in a nice little pre-market action here, so hopefully it can continue to do that. Next we have MU. What's going on? So MU has a great daily chart. I do like the daily chart in MU. Let's find some levels here. We have this one here, which is good because we got resistance here and support here, right? So that level around 35.87 has been used twice both ways, so that's good. If it can break out of that, it'll be nice. Towards the bottom, you got a nice area here, 35.25, low of the pre-market, which also you got this moving average all turning up here, so this is nice. Again, the daily looks interesting on this one. Looks like it possibly can break out of that. I'll be looking to get above that 35.87 on MU if it can hold a nice uptrend. If it can break out of that one, next possible level could be 37. And again, if it gets momentum, if the markets help it, it can definitely get up there. So I like MU for that. ZM right now, pretty crazy pre-market action, pretty choppy, not clean. You see, you got these in between here. They're not just creating a nice flow, but this stock has been hot the last 4 or 3 days. So we'll be on the lookout for it. We have a high of the pre-market sitting at 104.17. We'll mark that down. Then besides that, you don't really need to add anymore. All these levels are on here for you. Previous day close, highs and lows from 2 days ago are creating a nice little area here in regards to levels. And then really there's nothing else up there. This is the all-time high. So these are the only levels you need. So that's ZM. Let's look at some of our riskier piles, our low floats on here. So we have JAGX. What we got going on here? JAGX. Really active, guys. I think there was no news on this, right? We checked that. There was no news on this. So high of the pre-market sitting at 12.85. We have another level up here around 15.30. We also have a moving average coming in here as well. The price action is sitting right at a level of support. So I'm going to mark this down because you have several days, as you can see here, this 1170. Several days is using that area 1178-ish as support, right? So I'm going to mark that down. Price action is right on there. Towards the bottom, you have this nice gap here. You can mark down also 1060. That's great. And then towards the bottom, see if we find something cleaner. Towards the bottom, below this, yeah, here it is, right there, 979.80. All right, so plenty of levels here, guys. Let's see what JAGX wants to do. Has some good volume, has a clean pre-market action. You can see here it pops up nicely, consolidates, then takes off again with volume. So this is nice. Selling down a bit here. Let's see if it can hold either this 1180-ish or this 1060. It might come down even to this moving averages. So if you're in the low flow team, that's something you want to look out for and see if it is going to continue this momentum upwards into the open. PRVB, this is when it gets tricky on these stocks, right? It already had a great day yesterday. Now it's just kind of, it did its pop over to 1750. Now it's sold right back down to the previous day close. This is when this stuff could get dangerous, guys. So please be very careful. I'm going to watch it just for entertainment purposes. I'm not looking to trade this one. High of the pre-market 1750. And then the low is right at the previous day close. And then you have the low of yesterday. So that's really it for this one. Again, guys, just be very careful with this one here. It looks like it sold up to 1750 and now right back down. Let's see what we got here. So VKTX. Oh, thank you, Elias. So JAGX is a fund. All right, so I'm probably going to remove that one. VKTX not doing much, so let's get rid of that one. All right, MBY. What's MBY up to? MBY selling off a bit here after hitting 478. High of the pre-market, so we'll mark that down, 478. Let's see, what do we have? I think this was a former runner, so we do have some prices above here we can mark down. Get some levels in here, 470, 480. Okay, we have a pop all the way up here, up to 525, so we'll mark that down. Also, another one right here around 5. Whole dollars in these type of stocks become very important as well. So we'll keep that on there. Yep, I'm gonna look at Cron next once I'm done with this one here. So right now it's got some good volume, 3.8 million shares traded, but again, just be very careful with this one. It is a lower flow stock. All right, and then I see you guys mentioning Cron, C-O-R-N. Let's take a look at that. Pre-market action is pretty crappy at the moment. It's not looking too clean, right? It's kind of pretty flat, not a lot of volume in here. Only I have 104,000 shares traded. Now, I agree the daily chart looks great. You know, this has a very good daily chart, right? It has a nice little bounce here, so we can put some levels on here, look for possible breakout. Here's our scanners. High of the pre-market 17.99. Let's mark that down. If it can push through that, see if we can find a good clean level in here. I like this one, 1929, right? You got several days using a support resistance in here. Oh, look at that, also 1929, very nice in here as well. You can also put this one also. I'm gonna mark down because I like something in between just for profit taking purposes. For partials, 1875 is good. If you see 1875, you got some days in here using that, this drop here as well, and also in this area you got several days using that as resistance also. So all right guys, but right now Cron, the pre-market action is not looking too great, guys. Again, it's just not looking too clean. It's not looking very active at the moment. So let's see if that can get better later on today. We'll do a few more. CAT. CAT is not much volume, only 15,000 shares traded so far. Again, daily chart kind of looking the same here, trying to break out. Wow, way too many levels in here. We'll get rid of these. But again, guys, just not looking too great on the pre-market action wise. Volume is definitely not there at the moment. CRM, what is CRM up to? CRM 148,000 right now, up a bit. Again, this one, I think you could look at the volume yesterday, just insane. I think it might you might get some volume yesterday from today based on yesterday being so active. I'm not gonna personally watch this one. I think it just doesn't trade well for me, for my liking, so I'm gonna skip this one. Also, it's a higher price tag, 154. I like the stuff between 20 and 80 or so. So yeah. Okay, what else we have, guys? All right, so just a quick announcement, guys. Again, we're going to be on YouTube Live. Peter and Andrew are going to be on Thursday, June 13 at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you go to our channel right now. And actually, I'll send you the link. Here's the link for that on YouTube. And you can just go in there, hit remind me so you don't forget, so you get an alert. They're going to be on and kind of taking all your questions, anything you possibly might have. They'll be able to help you out. So let me just send that link over here. Excellent, there it is. I think Abby already might have posted it here. Nope, I'll post it now. And then next thing is we have Andrew talking at the Modern Trader Summit in Montreal, June 22nd. So definitely check that out, guys. He's going to be on there with some other speakers as well. If you're in the area, you should definitely check it out. If you're not, turn it into a family vacation or something. Go check out the town there and make it to this event. So that's what we have, folks, on announcements. Unless there are any other tickers that we should look at, that is my watch list so far. Andrew will be getting on actually right now, and he'll go through his watch list, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, guys. Trade safe, and I'll see you guys 8:30 Eastern time.